The iPhone 18 Pro Max isn't supposed to exist yet. Apple hasn't announced it, hasn't teased it, hasn't sent out a single invite. And it's already sitting in a Chinese government database, in a leaked drop test video, and in a folder of 200,000 files somebody dumped on the dark web. By the end of this video, you'll know the real battery numbers Apple has been sitting on, the exact day you'll be able to pre-order one, and how one of Apple's own factories handed the whole design over to hackers. If you're planning to buy this phone, the next few minutes save you from guessing on every one of those. And the strange part is how early all of this is landing. We're months out from a keynote that hasn't even been dated, and the leaks this time go well past the usual blurry case renders. We're looking at certified government paperwork and lab footage of finished hardware. That almost never happens to Apple, and there's a specific reason it happened this time. Let's start with the spec that actually changes your day: battery. This is the number you feel at 6 p.m. when your current phone is begging for a charger and you're nowhere near one. Get a real jump here, and the 18 Pro Max becomes the first Pro in years that gets you to bed with charge to spare. Get a token bump, and you're paying flagship money for the same evening anxiety you already have. So the leaked capacity is the first honest signal of whether this upgrade is worth it. A couple of weeks back, the rumor mill had settled on its figures. The story going around was that the eSIM 18 Pro Max would carry a 5,425 mAh cell, and the version with a physical SIM tray would sit lower, around 5,235. Solid gains. Everyone nodded and moved on. Then the regulatory paperwork showed up, and the paperwork disagreed. New entries landed in China's 3C database. That's the mandatory certification every phone has to clear before it can be sold in the country, so it's about as official as a pre-launch leak gets. The tipster digital chat station spotted them, and they line up with the iPhone 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max. According to those filings, the eSIM Pro Max actually packs 5,567 milliamps, and the physical SIM version comes in at 5,391. Both higher than the rumor claimed. Stack that against last year, and the picture gets better. The eSIM Pro Max gains 479 milliamps over the 17 Pro Max. The physical SIM model jumps a full 568. And in case you're wondering why there are two numbers for one phone, Apple sells eSIM-only iPhones in the US, while regions like China still ship with a SIM tray, and that little tray eats internal space a battery could have used. The smaller Pro isn't left out. Its eSIM model is listed at 4,288 milliamps, and the tray version at 4,056, up from the 17 Pro's 4,252 and 3,998. Slim gains on a spec sheet. In your pocket, that's an extra hour or so you didn't have before, on the exact day you forgot to charge overnight. Two things are worth holding on to here. First, filings like these can shift before a phone actually ships, so treat them as strong signals rather than final numbers on a box. Second, notice that the tray models gained more than the eSIM ones this year. That's a small hint that Apple found room inside the chassis to grow the cell, which usually means real all-day plus endurance for the people who buy the biggest phone specifically so they never think about charging. If that holds, the Pro Max is the model that benefits most from this leak. Knowing the battery is bigger does you no good if you can't get one before launch stock runs dry, and on a new Pro Max, it runs dry fast. The people who sleep through the pre-order window are the ones staring at a 3-week ship date while their mate is already unboxing. So the date you want circled on the calendar isn't release day, it's the pre-order. Mark Gurman, Bloomberg's Apple reporter, has floated two possible keynote dates: Tuesday, September 8, or Wednesday, September 9. I'd cross the 8th straight off the list. The Monday before it is a US public holiday, and Apple flies press and staff in from all over the world for the keynote. The company hates burning that holiday on travel days for its guests and its own people. That rules the 8th out for me. Which leaves the 9th. That's the Wednesday I think is quietly locked into the Cupertino calendar. Gurman leans toward the 8th. My read is that he's got the right week and the wrong day. There's always a slim chance production trouble pushes everything to the following Monday, September 14, but that would be a genuine emergency, and I'd bet heavily against it. Once the keynote date is set, the rest runs like a machine. Pre-orders open the Friday after the show, which this year is September 11. If Apple keeps last year's timing, that's 5 a.m. Pacific, which works out to 8 a.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. in London. It's the same instant everywhere on Earth, so nobody wins a head start just by living in a friendlier time zone. There's also a trick Apple has used some years that's worth watching for. The night before pre-orders, Thursday the 10th, they sometimes let you load your exact model, color, and storage into your shopping bag in advance. When the clock hits, you skip the whole build your order scramble and just tap buy, which can be the difference between launch day delivery and waiting a month. No confirmation yet on whether that returns for 2026. Expect Apple to say so on keynote day. Then the phones ship the Friday after that, September 18. If the keynote slips a week, every one of these dates slides with it, and Apple starts losing selling days right before the holiday quarter. That pressure is exactly why Gurman thinks they'll hold the earlier slot. One caveat on that neat calendar: it covers the Pro and the Pro Max cleanly because those follow Apple's usual rhythm. The foldable iPhone that keeps surfacing in the rumor mill is a different animal, and there's no reliable read yet on when it actually reaches shelves. So if a folding iPhone is the thing you're holding out for, treat September as the Pro line window and nothing more. Don't build your buying plan around a date nobody can pin down. So quick one, if you're trying to work out whether the 18 Pro is your upgrade, subscribe. This next part is the reason we're even able to see the design this early, and it's a real headache for Apple. How the whole thing actually leaked. Before any of these specs hit that database, the iPhone 18 Pro had already shown up in the flesh. For Apple, that basically never happens. What leaked here was the actual hardware, on video, months out. And the way it escaped should bother Apple far more than a battery figure ever could, because it points at a hole in their own supply chain. 2 videos started doing the rounds online. Both show controlled drop tests of the iPhone 18 Pro in what looks like a proper lab setup, and both confirm what we expected on design. It's nearly identical to the 17 Pro. They were posted by an account using the handle of leaks on X. One thing worth flagging before you get the wrong idea: that account doesn't appear to belong to Evan Blass, the well-known leaker everyone associates with that name, and it has since been suspended. The videos themselves are almost beside the point. The question that matters is where lab footage of an unreleased iPhone came from in the first place. It traces back to a security breach at one of Apple's own manufacturing partners. Tata Electronics was hit with a ransomware attack, and the fallout included a stack of internal component design and specification documents. Reuters reported that more than 200,000 files ended up posted on the dark web. At that volume, 2 drop test clips are almost certainly the opening act, with more material likely to surface over the coming days. Apple has said nothing publicly about any of it, which for a company this controlling is about as loud as silence gets. And that's the part that should stick with you. Apple guards its unreleased products harder than almost any company on the planet, with sealed factories, coded prototypes, and staff who sign their lives away. None of that matters if a supplier gets breached, and the files walk straight out the back door. So the reason you're seeing a finished iPhone this far ahead of launch comes down to one thing: a single attack on a single supplier. If those 200,000 files really are still trickling out, this may be the most exposed a flagship iPhone has ever been before its own keynote. So that's the state of the iPhone 18 Pro right now. Bigger batteries than the rumors promised, a launch that most likely runs September 9 to September 18, and a design that got out through a hacked factory rather than a stage in Cupertino. So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.